Hello everyone. So in today's class we are going to discuss on the topic DC generator. So before going on the topic we should know what are the today's outline. So today class we are going to discuss about what is DC generator, principle of DC generator, construction of DC generator, types of DC generator. What is DC generator? DC generator is a device which is generally used to convert mechanical energy to electrical energy. So here you can see it is a diagram of a DC generator. So what is DC generator? The DC generator is a device which is generally used to convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. The energy alternation process genetically induced electromotive force. Okay, the principle of alternation process uses the principle of energetically induced electromotive force. So next slide is your principle of DC generator. So DC generator works upon the principle of Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. So according to Faraday's first law, whenever a conductor cuts the magnetic lines of force or it links the magnetic lines of force, an EMF is induced across the two ends of the conductor. So that EMF causes the current to flow through the conductor. And according to Faraday's second law, so the magnitude of the EMF induced across the two ends of the conductor depends upon the amount of the flux that links with the conductor. So here you can see the basic principle of DC generator is your Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, and according to this principle an EMF is induced in the conducting coil where there is any change in the magnetic flux. Linked with that coil, the change in the magnetic flux happens due to number 1, fluctuation in the magnetic field, number 2, change in the area of the coil, number 3, change in the angle between the magnetic field and area vector of the coil. So these are the 3 factors because of which there is a change in the magnetic fields occurs or happens. So here you can see North Pole and South Pole is there. In between the North Pole and South Pole, magnetic flux is there coming from North Pole to South Pole. North Pole to South Pole, in between these, there is a coil. The coil is placed in between the North Pole and South Pole, and in between the North Pole and South Pole, magnetic flux is there. This conductor placed in between the North Pole and South Poles comes in contact with the magnetic lines of force. As a result, according to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, an EMF is induced across the two ends of the conductor, and the amount of the EMF induced across the two ends of the conductor depend upon the flux that links with the magnetic flux that link with the conductor which is placed in between the two poles, that is a North Pole and South Pole. So construction of DC generator. So this is the construction of DC generator. At the center part you can see shaft is there. Here you can see the outermost part is known as your frame or yoke. Here you can see this is your frame or yoke, which is the outermost part of the DC machine or DC generator. So what are the important parts of the DC generator? The important parts of DC generator is your yoke, pole, field winding, armature, commutator, brush, gear and bearing. So these are the important parts of the DC generator. So let us see in brief yoke. So these are the outermost part of the DC generator. It provides the mechanical support to the internal parts of the DC generator. So here you can see yoke is also known as a frame. It provides the protection to the rotating parts or the internal parts of the DC generator, and yoke is an iron body which provides path for the flux. It means it also carries the magnetic flux because it is an iron body which is made up of cast iron, silicon steel, cast steel, etc. So it also provides mechanical support for the pole because the pole is mounted at the center, at the yoke or the frame of the generator. Here you can see it is a diagram of a yoke or a frame of a DC generator. So pole, here you can see it is a pole core and this is a pole shoe. So what is pole? In a DC generator, there may be a 2 pole, there may be a 4 pole. So depending upon that number of pole it is being used in DC generator, that machine will be known as 4 pole machine, 2 pole machine, 6 pole machine, etc. So what is pole? So what is the function of the pole? The pole produces the magnetic flux. It produces the magnetic flux when the magnetic field is excited. Means if we wrap a coil over a normal iron bar and when the current passes through that coil which is wrapped over the normal iron bar, that iron bar is being converted into a temporary magnet. As a result, it will create a magnetic flux. So here you can see pole provides the magnetic flux when the field winding is excited. Next one, the material used for pole is generally a cast iron or cast steel. The pole is a part on which field winding is wounded. Wounded means wrapped over the pole. So here you can see pole shoe. What is the function of the pole shoe? The function of the pole shoe is to provide the magnetic flux uniformly so that the reluctance will be minimized in a large amount, in a large space, in a large surface area where you can provide magnetic flux. Therefore, this is the shape of the pole shoe so that we can uniformly distribute the magnetic flux inside the generator. This is your field winding. Here you can see field winding which is being wrapped over the pole. You can see this is the field winding, series winding and shunt winding. So what is field winding? Field winding is otherwise known as a exciting winding. So the current is passed through the field winding in a specific direction to magnetize the pole. Here you can see the metal which is used for the field conductor is your copper. The field winding, the material that is used for field winding is made up of is of copper. Next one is your armature core. Here you can see armature core diagram is being there. There is a teeth or you can say slot is there. Inside the slot a conductor is being placed. Since it is being placed in the teeth of the armature, that conductor is known as a armature conductor. So here you can see there are number of slots are there which are parallel to the shaft axis and the armature conductor are placed in this slot. Since the conductor are placed in the armature slots, that conductor is known as a armature conductor. Armature core provides a low reluctance path to the flux produced by the field winding. So you can say cast steel or cast iron are used for armature core. For making the armature core, you can see cast iron or cast steel is being used. Okay. So next one is a commutator. Here you can see the diagram of the commutator. So what is the function of the commutator? What is the function of the commutator? The function of the commutator is to convert AC to DC. Since whatever the electrical energy or whatever the current which is being obtained from the Faraday, according to Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, from the armature conductor we are getting a AC current. Since it is a DC generator, we have to give the DC as an output from the DC generator. For that we have to convert that AC to DC. This can be done with the help of the commutator. So what does the commutator does? Commutator converts the alternating EMF which is being produced into DC voltage. So it collects the current from the armature conductor and passes it to the external load via brush. So what is the function of the brush here? The function of the brush is to collect the current from the commutator and to supply it to the external load. So this is the main function of the brushes, and it is made up of carbon. Next is your rotor. Here you can see the diagram of the rotor. Bearing is also there. You can see it. So what is a rotor? The rotor, as a name, as from the name, rotor means it is a rotating part, or you can say moving part of the DC generator. So what is basically a rotor? The rotor is a moving part of the DC generator, and the rotor rotates because the wires and the magnetic fields of the motor are arranged so that the torque is developed about the rotor axis. Getting or not? So next one is your types of DC generator. So DC generator is classified into two types. One is your separately excited DC generator. Another one is your self-excited DC generator. Self-excited DC generator is further divided into three parts. One is your DC series generator. Another one is your DC shunt generator. And another one is your compound generator. The compound generator is further divided into two parts. One is a long shunt compound DC generator. Another one is a short shunt compound DC generator. So here you can see your compound DC generator are of two types. One is a long shunt compound DC generator. Another one is a short shunt compound DC generator. Thank you. This is for the today's class. Thank you.